Castlevania Nocturne's release has not been going well for Netflix. Not only are people upset over Annette's race swap, but we found out she's also a completely different character that the writers wrote absolutely insulting dialogue for, but now the show is getting destroyed in its user reviews as the series is sitting at a measly 53%. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting via Patreon or YouTube memberships. So, I wanted to start off with a few different things. Let's go for the user reviews, why don't we? There's a lot to look at here, but as you can see, the critics and the users are extremely divided. Now, I almost never trust critic scores, and when they are scores I typically would agree with, I always say, but I'm waiting for the fake ones to be released, right? Because unfortunately, critic reviews most of the time come off as very fake reviews, of course, purchased reviews, and right now that's how I feel. It is sitting at 100% critic. Now, granted, it does only have 12 reviews, but that is, I mean, sparkling. That means that this would be one of the best TV shows to release this year and like of all time, right? How many series truly just stay at a 100%? Not many, but the audiences feel very different. Over 250 ratings, so scores I would generally agree with. I mean, these are solid numbers. It is sitting at a 53%. Now, unfortunately, with this series, people decided to watch it because of the previous Castlevania series Netflix created, which was pretty good. I mean, it was not perfect. I'm not sitting here saying that it was, but it definitely felt like Castlevania. There was a lot of nostalgia, lots of nostalgic moments in it, and overall, all of the characters, almost all of the characters felt like they were out of the video games, like they were not drastically changed in any way, and the series looked great. So a lot of people who enjoyed the original Castlevania series decided, you know what, I'm gonna give Nocturne a chance because there's no way it's going to be so vastly different, but unfortunately it is. It does not resemble Castlevania. Every couple of minutes, they're swearing, which I don't mind swearing in content, but it really feels out of place in this series. It truly feels like just such a juvenile move to make. And of course, you have Annette's race swap, which has infuriated people, and a lot of the dialogue in this just seems so bad. Like, they have the most amateur writers possible on this project, and they thought, wow, this turned out great, when it didn't. I'm going to read just a few. People are saying things like step down from the first series in almost every way, animation included. Some action scenes still hold up, however. I have to agree, the only decent thing that I took from this series, and I didn't finish it, I have not watched it all, was the action. Like, the action was okay. But having one good thing out of 50 things that should be good, 50 elements that should be good, just isn't acceptable. It says lacks the same intensity of the other seasons. So much more you could have done with the setting and the time period. Only worthwhile if you enjoy a more slapstick experience or a major fan. People are saying things like this series only uses Castlevania's name. The producer does not know anything about the games, and that's the problem with adaptations like this. They are hiring people who don't know the source material and are willing to throw that source material away, which is such a slap in the face to fans. It's insane. It's not acceptable, but they keep doing this over and over with series. A Castlevania fanfic written by Tumblarians. This is not Castlevania. This is an insult to the fans and to the original creators of the franchise. They could have created their own original IP if they wanted to tell this story, but because they're parasites, they had to corrupt an existing franchise, and of course they did. It's sad to say, but they're only doing that because they know that people are going to click it and going to watch it simply because it is Castlevania, because it's slapped in the center, it's marketed as Castlevania, and it's just a disappointing situation to see happen because, of course, they could have created something new and original, but these people are not talented enough to do that. And the official Castlevania Twitter/X account has been infuriating fans. A few of their tweets have gone viral because they are sharing dialogue straight from the series that just encapsulates all of the problems. So this post features Annette, of course, race-swapped Annette, that it makes no sense why she's race-swapped, and she doesn't actually act the way that she used to. She's just like an entirely different character, but it says no matter what the timeline, the Belmonts stay getting humbled by their magic companions. Absolute cringe fest here. And the dialogue in the series is the Belmont boy turned out to be useless as fuck. Oh boy. That is all that I posted. Oh boy. This is a shameful display. I mean, Annette from the games would have never said this. I mean, it is a completely different character from her original counterpart. Not only was she race swapped, which, if she was well written and accurate to her previous iterations, might not have been that big of a deal to some people, but they absolutely womanized her. She's strong, independent, and doesn't need no Belmonts, which is such a slap in the face to Castlevania fans. With this one tweet, they proved how incompetent they are and the disdain the writers held for Castlevania fans. I mean, this is one of the worst things that you could possibly do. I mean, the Belmonts, come on, you don't insult them. The Belmont clan is known for their never-ending crusade against Count Dracula, and the strength every single one of them have is crazy. While not every game in the series stars a Belmont, Castlevania is first and foremost about their fighting back against Dracula, and you thought that it was okay to just go and straight up insult the Belmonts like this? And again, by Annette, a character who would have never done that. It's just so bad. And this isn't the only cringe tweet they made, and I hate saying cringe, but it's, I mean, come on, it perfectly describes what's going on here. They also posted this POV, your love language is words of degradation. God, you're a wanker. You're such a dick. This is supposed to be the 18th century. I'm sorry, none of this makes sense. And this tweet has also blown up because people are destroying it, saying things like cancel Netflix. Man, such a huge letdown versus the first show. Stopped watching it after episode 3. ESG overlords must be very happy. It's true. I mean, it's like they went into this saying we need to get our ESG points up, so let's race swap a lead character. Let's add in this dialogue that's insulting men. Let's just insult men at any point that we can. Like, it's just so bad. This is completely unacceptable. This is not what fans of Castlevania wanted, but it's not like they actually care about what fans of Castlevania wanted, because again, when Annette's race swap was initially announced months ago, the Nocturne supervising background designer had come out and straight up said, go complain about something that matters. So they don't care about our feedback. They don't care about us as fans. And it's something that we see in Hollywood all the time. That's why people didn't care about the writer strikes, because, oh, boo-hoo, the people that have ruined these beloved franchises are out of work. Why should we care? Unfortunately, I don't think that Castlevania is going to go in a better direction anytime soon. The first series had really great moments, and it started off very strong, but of course, as time went on, people had issues with it, and now that we have gotten to the spin-off series Nocturne, it is a complete mess of a Castlevania series, and it does not even deserve to be called Castlevania. I highly suggest that you stay away from this if you actually love Castlevania and you respect yourself, but this is what they thought was acceptable dialogue in this series. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.